Hello folks, this is Sula speaking, and welcome to a commentary video on League of Legends, this one featuring Sion. In the last part of this video, we were going through the initial laning phase. You saw me laning against Caitlyn, first at the top lane, and now it appears that we're laning against one another in the middle lane. Here, I'm trying to push this tower, and I'm actually using Sion's ultimate to do so. I'm going to take one hit from the tower, but it's actually not enough to break my shield, because I now have enough points in it. I'm playing ability power Sion, that is opposed to attack damage Sion. And I'm doing a pretty good job of winning this lane. That is, Caitlyn's not getting that many minion kills. He's not doing that good of a job of pushing. And I am overall sort of controlling this lane. No offense to Caitlyn, of course, because he has less experience than I do with League of Legends. But, of course, I've only played Sion maybe, I think this is the second game I played him. And I'm not a particularly good player with Sion by any means. Anyway, I'm going to get off my stun, and then I'm going to come up here and hit him with my shield, just to harass him a little bit more. Remember, every time I get a minion kill, because I have Enrage running, my maximum health keeps increasing, which is one of the reasons why I'm already up over 2,000 health, despite the fact that I don't have any items that increase health. In the meantime, I'm going to keep pushing this tower as long as we're okay in the other lanes, because I continue to make some progress on it each time. I'm not going to get it down anytime soon, but, just a little bit each time. Keep hammering on the tower, make it difficult for Caitlyn to get last hits on minions. Up here, I think I asked if they needed me help in the top lane, but I think that I got the answer. I got a negative reply, then something along the lines of we were okay. Unfortunately, though, we lose a tower in the bottom lane. We actually, and look, oh, I'm so close to getting Caitlyn, but once again, I have no choice because I have to get out of there due to the tower fire. Anyway, then Atlas came over and tried to get me. Through that bottom lane, but I was able to get out of it without too much trouble. I did use Ghost just to make sure I'd get away, but that I wasn't really in any severe danger there. Alright, now we're going to come up and try to push this tower, and I'm going to pop my ultimate, which increases my attack damage and adds a little attack speed. Actually, it doesn't increase my attack damage, excuse me. It adds attack speed. There, Earthstrike charges in to try to save me, and in fact, he does save me, but I think that he is going to get killed here as a result. And yep, there it is. I do remember that from playing this game yesterday. So yeah, he was unable to get out of there, which was unfortunate. And now our middle tower is in danger. And I'd love to go up there and fight them, but if I do, I'm just going to die. So unfortunately, this is not going well for us. So we're going to lose this tower here at mid, which is a shame. But there's really not a whole lot we could do there. So here I buy Catalyst. Again, I'm building towards Rod of Ages, which in retrospect, looking back at this game, I don't think was the right thing to buy. But it's what I did in this game. Just trying to go the ability power route once again. Anyway, so we've now lost a tower in the bottom lane, and we've lost a tower in the middle lane, so we're definitely behind. We've also been outkilled 3-1 in this game. Certainly not something that can't be overcome, but we're a little bit behind in the game right now. The only good news that I can see so far is that I'm getting pretty farmed up. Now up at the top, they're coming to try and get Mookie. And Mookie knew that they were coming, but Mookie decided it was better to stick around and get a kill on Speaker than try to run out of there and probably get killed anyway. The only problem is that D.Va keeps getting more and more kills, which is not good. He's playing Gangplank, and he's starting to get farmed up. Gangplank is not one of the stronger champions in this game, but of course anyone who gets farmed up can start to become a danger. Now, with no one in the top lane, someone's going to have to go cover that, and it looks like that's going to be, looks like I'm probably the only person available to come do that, so I'm going to hurry up there. And then we're going to have, Roland actually is going to teleport in from the bottom lane, and he actually gets in a nice stun on D.Va, so freezes him. Then, with D.Va slowed, I'm going to be able to slip in here. I'm going to try to get off my stun. And, look, D.Va's still down there, so we're in pretty good shape to try to get a kill here. Let's see, I'm going to hit him with my stun, and then, oh, I should have my shield charged, but I realized that I forgot to charge my shield, so I can't do any more damage, and oh, it looks like D.Va's going to slip away. And no, we're not going to be able to get that kill, which is just a bad misplay on my part. I got in my stun, but I had forgotten to charge up my shield ahead of time, so I'm not able to do that damage. I also forget to pop off my ult. If I had used my ult, I could have slipped in there and done some more damage. I certainly should have gotten that kill. If I were playing Sion correctly, that really should have been an easy kill to get. So that's a bad misplay on my part. And we should have been able to get a kill there. Obviously, it would have slowed down D.Va, and it would have stopped sort of the snowball that he's running towards as he runs around the map and starts to get kills. So anyway, that could have been handled a lot better, but it is a practice game. It's a learning experience, especially for someone who's playing a character for, you know, more or less the first or second time like I am here. Anyway, now by you know, whatever luck, I've ended up laning against Speaker, who's doing the right thing, which is anytime Sion gets his shield up, you know, you back off so that he can't stun you and then hit you with his shield. Misfortune has a lot more range than Sion does, so this is definitely a matchup that favors Speaker with Misfortune. Of course, I can still farm reasonably well as Sion, but he is going to have the advantage there. And I'll take another point in my ultimate. You can see I actually didn't put another point in my ultimate at level 11. That's because when you're playing ability power Sion, you don't really need more points in his cannibalism ultimate. I mean, it increases the amount of lifesteal that you get when you pop his ult, but how useful is that really if you're going the ability power route? Anyway, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to push this tower. And this tower is almost dead, so it looks like I'm going to be able to get this one. So at least we'll be able to get one tower here. Now you can see Speaker's coming in behind me, and I fully expected that, but I also thought that I'd be able to get that tower down before he would be able to come in and try to get me. I also wasn't as worried about someone coming in and trying to get me from the river, because we did have a sight ward there. I put one down a little while ago. And I think I'm going to throw another one down here. Yeah, I'm going to put another one down in the bushes. So that means I should be reasonably safe up here because I'll have visibility on anyone who tries to come in and kill me from behind. As long as I'm paying attention to the minimap, I should be in pretty good shape. Anyway, here I'm leaning back and forth with Speaker still. And again, as I said, Misfortune has the edge in that kind of matchup due to her range and, you know, her farming skills. So I'm not going to be able to out-farm Speaker. But now in comes D.Va behind me, and in fact, I should have seen this on the minimap because he was down there in the bushes a minute ago, if you were watching closely. And so they're going to come in from behind, and they're going to kill me together, and they're going to get me. Again, misplay. If you actually were watching the minimap back there, you should have seen that D.Va as Gangplank was fully revealed before, due to the wards we had there, before he actually came in and killed me. So that was a pretty bad misplay on my part not to see that and stop that. And then together they not only got the kill on me, but then they got our tower as well. Meanwhile, Mookie is coming after Atlas there and manages to get the kill, and you can see Kaylin is trying to come into the fight but gets there a little bit late. Meanwhile, they're now pushing on our next turret in the top lane. And we also had a nice Shen ultimate from Earthstrike using Stand Together, which probably saved Mookie from getting killed. Meanwhile, Speaker has just taken our Golem buff there. He snuck in and took it. We're trying to get D.Va, but we just don't have anybody in the middle lane to be able to do that. So it looks like he's going to be able to slip away and get away from that particular attempt. So they were able to raid our jungle, they were able to get that top tower, and that was really my fault for getting killed there in just a bad spot. Kind of put the team in a difficult situation. So they're a little bit further ahead of us now. But we're going to push on and see if we can get at least this tower, and in terms of payback, I'll use my ultimate, and even though I probably didn't need to use it there, so maybe a little bit wasteful, but anyway, at least we've gotten some towers here. We're still behind in the kill count, and we're still down some towers, but we're we could be in worse shape. I think at this point we're going to try to slip into their jungle, or no, we were going to go over here to the bottom lane. Oh, actually, we got that bottom tower too. I must have missed when we got that. So in terms of towers right now, it's even, but I would still say that their team's ahead because of the way they've outkilled us, in terms of some of the items that they're building. All right. Anyway, I think we were trying to push the bottom lane here, but without the minions, we were just a little too slow, and it didn't matter. Now, the problem was we haven't seen them anywhere on the map for some time, and if you'll notice, the one place where we don't have a ward, despite having lots of other wards, is over at the Baron. Well, we did have a ward there, but it just expired. So I was worried that they were going over and trying to Baron right now. It looks like they weren't trying to Baron, but still, not a good situation to be in, nonetheless. They probably could have done it right there. Alright, here, it looks like we're pushing towards the middle lane. This might be a little bit overly aggressive. I'm going to slip in there and get off my stun, and actually get off a nice pop of Sion's shield as well. You can see that did some really nice damage. So, so far here, we're managing harass pretty well, but the problem is we're still missing Speaker, and then Speaker comes out of the bushes behind us, and he flanks us, and he just runs all over us with his ultimate. So we get 2 kills, but then everyone other than me gets killed. And then their team keeps chasing after me, and my ghost just comes up, but I get killed. It's unfortunate Ghost was like 5 seconds away from coming off cooldown there. And with only 4 of us, that then turns into an ace. So we were doing well there, except that Speaker's positioning was much better, and he slipped around there on the side and just unloaded Misfortune's ultimate and shot us full of bullets there. So that was definitely a better positioning on their part in that fight. The other issue is that while we did get 2 kills, we did not kill the most important people on their team. We killed Atlas and we killed Kalen, but we didn't manage to kill Diva or Speaker. And if you look there on the screen, you can see they're the ones doing all the damage and they're the ones who have all the items. So killing the wrong people in the fight is obviously a problem. We did not manage to get the people that were the big damage dealers on their team. All right. Anyway, our minions were making some pretty good progress there on the top lane, but of course we weren't able to exploit it. We weren't able to do anything about it. That was so even though we did manage to get some kills in that team fight, we weren't able to, trading 2 for 4 is obviously a loss, and then they were able to push on and get one of our mid towers. So that was a problem. Here we see them going over to do Dragon because we have a ward down, and so we are going to come over and chase them away. Remember, you can see Kalen's in the top lane as Kale, so that means it's going to be 4 versus 3, and if they want to fight that, then that's fine with us because we're going to win that fight. Anyway, so we're continuing to go back and forth with Dragon, and they come in to engage us for some reason. I'm not really sure why, even though we have the big advantage. In this fight, let's see, I'm trying to concentrate on Diva because I know how much damage he's doing, and I pop off my ult, even though I probably should have popped it off a little bit sooner. Here, so Earthstrike and I are concentrating on Diva, and I pop off Ghost, but kind of late. I don't know why I waited that long. If I had used it sooner, I could have almost certainly gotten my stun off, and then maybe gotten a kill there. Here they come, trying to sneak out sort of out of the bushes here, and I'm able to get a stun in on Atlas and then hit him and Speaker with my shield. But again, there's only 2 of us here, so we really can't fight. I think that we did get the Dragon there, not 100% sure, but again, we had a situation where we could be fighting 4 versus 3. And we probably should have won that team fight. Instead, it was just inconclusive. So I'm not sure that that was a great result for us. With Kalen so far away and out of the picture, I really feel like we should have gotten more out of that particular conflict there. Anyway, I'm doing a good job of farming minions, but the problem is I'm not doing a good job of really doing much else. And that is ultimately going to be a problem for this game due to the fact that, once again, like I've said a number of times, don't really know how to play Sion that well. Certainly don't try to copy the build that I do in this game. You'd want to go with some other guide who knows more about what they're doing. Alright, I do have Rod of Ages already, and I'm now sort of belatedly building towards Sheen and Lichblade, which I think probably would have been better to build from the start. Anyway, we're definitely behind in this game, but it's certainly by no means unsalvageable. We still have a pretty decent chance. We just have to start winning some of these team fights. As long as we can do that, we can certainly come from behind. It's also nice that now I have all this health. You can see I'm about to go over 3,000 health, and once again their team disappears. And this time I think that they actually did go over and try to do the Baron. So gonna head over there just to check that out, where we didn't have a ward. And no, they actually did not do the Baron that time, but there are a whole bunch of them around me, and that's a bad situation. But fortunately I'm able to use my stun, and that allows me to escape. But all of them are around the river, and that means that it looked like they were gonna go Baron. I guess they didn't. Oh well. Maybe I was confused. Maybe they do that later on in this game. I can't remember perfectly, but yeah, they were all over there, and you can see we still don't have a ward, so could have been done better there. Now here they all are in the middle lane, and so that means I'm going to need to back off because obviously I'm not going to engage them. 1 versus 4. We had to go over and deal with that top lane, which was being pushed. And now that we've sort of dealt with the lanes, once again, we can't see the enemy team. So first thought, whenever you can't see anybody at this point in time is, well, maybe they went over and tried to get the Baron, where we still didn't have a ward, which is kind of silly. And yep, there they are. I think we checked it with Hawkshot. And so there they are. They go in and get Baron. Now they're kind of injured, so it seems like this might be a good time to fight them. But our positioning is bad. We're split up in 2 different areas, so we really can't force a fight. And so that's another misplay on our part, not having a ward there, not reacting sooner when they were up in that area. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of this video. Check back soon for part 3, where we'll continue up to the conclusion of this game.
Yeah, I was probably going to try that around the side thing she did last time.
Well, we definitely don't want to fight them like this.